It definitely wasn't a damn fight. So I don't know what happened with. I'm at that. I have no idea what I just saw, but this is one of the most serious problems that boxing is suffering from is these type of situations where basically they just brought a dude from overseas who basically just came there to get a paycheck, didn't want to engage whatsoever. And in all likelihood, he won't ever be able to fight in the States again because he's gonna be blacklisted. They basically brought him in to make Anderson look great, but it just came across as what it was, a sparring session and a guy that showed up to get a paycheck. He didn't even put forth an effort. It was just, you want to forget his name. And this is one of the problems that you have in boxing when you try to match these type of guys up. So he's fighting these type of dudes. It's time to fight 12 round fights. He has the experience now and he has the conditioning, and it's just time for him to fight better competition. He had he had a difficult outing versus, Martin. He got touched up, but at the same time, based off what you said, Charles fight and the fight before that, at least the Charles Martin, for the most part, it looked like an easy mode where basically you just get to initiate other dude. I never really heard of the dude until tonight, and I never hear from him again based off that performance. We just don't need that or wherever he came from. He spent it wisely, he invested, expanded his money. Probably what he made for this particular fight, probably try. And when the 12th round came and it was safe, he figured, hey, I'm not in all likelihood gonna get knocked out. Basically, I'll throw some punches out, which he should have fought like that throughout the fight. Didn't really matter whether he got stopped or not because at the end of the day, he wasn't supposed to win the fight anyway. This dude was 5 feet 9. He was really a blown up cruiserweight. So basically, he was there to make Anderson look good, and it failed miserably for Anderson. No fault of his. He tried to perform, but what can you do when you get a guy that's, not willing to engage? You know what they could start doing in boxing? If you have such a lackluster effort, they could. I I mean, they could do it. A referee can do it, but it's highly unlikely. The referee has the power. He could stop the fight due to the fact that it's a lack of activity. He could have just said, you know what, I'm gonna stop the fight. You're not engaging. Um, you're not engaging. So why continue this? It was a eyesore watching that fight. The Effie Ajaba fight was a great fight. I had Effie Ajaba edging it out by maybe one round. It was a very close fight, but I had Effie edging it out. You know, um, that might want to be a fight they could consider Effie Ajaba versus Jared Anderson. I think Jared Anderson would, in all likely, win that fight unless he just got nailed. And Anderson has proven that he got a decent chin. He's been nailed before because Martin hit him with some shots. You know, so that might could be a fight they could consider making somewhere down the line. Which I think that fight is in the cards. I think that fight is in the cards. I wouldn't be surprised if we are maybe 2 or 3 fights away from that fight actually coming to reality. But based off what happened tonight with Mary, he just need to go away. At the end of the day, he may go home smiling because he got a decent paycheck, but at the end of the day, the fans lose, who had to suffer the consequences of watching that fight, and then the people that paid money to see that fight. And this is why people get upset and say boxing is on its way out. You know, um, they need to start putting stipulations in some of these contracts with some of these dudes. Like, hey man, you got to put forth an effort. You got to fight, man. You got to at least try it. You got to make it look somewhat sellable. But it clearly was a dude who wasn't there to engage. He just wanted to make it. all 10 rounds without basically getting put on his ass and getting stopped. Just basically what happened. It's a shame that we continue to see this in boxing, but what can you do? I mean, what can you do? And I'm gonna say this again because I don't want people to think that I'm attacking Jared Anderson, because you know how some of these boxers are. They think when you critique something that you're attacking him. Jared Anderson did nothing wrong. It was basically the other guy. Now he might have to talk to the people that found this dude, but that's about it. But I can tell you, Mary, whatever his name is, it's highly unlikely that he will ever be given an opportunity to fight on a grand scale like this, fight on um, premium cable TV. Well, not premium cable, free cable TV, because that's not an HBO. So, um, yeah, I just don't think they'll ever put him on a program like it. I didn't even know that he, had defeated Tony Yoka, and that was a guy they were hyping up a long time ago. They were saying he was going to be the next big thing, and well, he hasn't been. He's been all but a disappointment, from issues with him being linked to taking, you know, taking performance enhancers and that kind of stuff. So, you know, yeah. And looking at Miri based off his performance versus Tony Yoka, then his performance versus Jared Anderson, once again, uh, puts a whole different perspective on Tony Yoka and says a lot about him as a professional fighter. He doesn't have the it factor. So Jared Anderson, he moves on. He's doing court from what they say Monday, to take care of his issues outside of boxing. No judgment here. I hope it works out for him. But they say they have a plan for him. Basically 2025 is going to be the year of Jared Anderson, and they hope by 2026 he'll be, the smoke will be clear. A lot of these dudes like the Tyson Furies, the Anthony Joshua's, the Deontay Wilder, the Zangs will be on their way out. The Joe Joyce, because all of those dudes are long in the tooth. Now the question is, even Usyk is up there in age, so they figure like he gonna have what they're hoping he may have is a Klitschko like era. So it could happen. But based off the performance that I saw today, I was just like, you got to be kidding me. Where you just had one dude who just didn't give a damn. He was in survivor mode from round one to basically the last round, which was the 10th. So now, like I said, what's next for Jared Anderson? Because at the end of the day, they still gonna attach this performance to him because it take two people to make a fight. People gonna probably say, well, damn, since you had a dude that wasn't willing to engage, you should have tried harder to get him up out of there. And you still played it safe all the way for, you know, 10 rounds. So there's gonna be some finger pointing in the direction of Anderson. But that's my take on the whole thing. I'll be back with more later on.